Gary, good to see you here back at the FWA. You've won this award before. You've won the Footballer of the Year award before. Tonight it's Gareth's night, but it's also about the England team, isn't it? After that marvellous summer, did it bring back memories of 1990 for you?
I think in a way, because I think that there are certain similarities in terms of kind of seminal moments for the game. I think at both stages they happened during times where there wasn't that much belief perhaps in the national side, and certainly in 90 it was after a period of downside to the English game with hooliganism problems, and then obviously there was Hillsborough that happened, that disaster, then they had the Taylor report, and I think 1990 was a massive watershed moment for football in this country, and particularly towards the national side. And it was one of those moments that triggered popularity in the game again that had lost its way. This time it's a little bit different in the sense that obviously we've got a very strong Premier League and stuff like that, but there's a lot of people were saying that the interest has gone from the national team, that no one cares anymore. But I always felt, having remembered 86 and 90 and 96, that should we win a couple of games, that enthusiasm would come back, and boy, it certainly did.
It did. And Harry Kane was at the heart of it as a goal scorer. I mean, a golden boot for him. You remember that. How pleased were you to see Harry doing well?
I was chuffed, because you need your striker to do well if you're going to be reasonably successful in a competition like that. You need to hit form at the right time. And obviously he got off to an electric start in that tournament. But Harry's a world-class striker now. He's one of the very best around. He's proven he's done it for years in the Premier League. He's now doing it internationally. And it's a shame he's got injured. Let's hope he gets fully fit and back raring to go for when the internationals start, and some big Champions League stuff coming up for Tottenham as well. So let's hope he gets back to full fitness, because he's a special talent.
And of course, England have got the Nations League this summer. It's a friendly, it's a smaller tournament than one of the major ones, but it's important to sort of put down a marker, isn't it? It's the next step in their progression, perhaps.
Crikey, we've never hardly won anything. We won the World Cup about a million years ago, so this could be the new thing to win. Take anything. But no, it's great. What it does do, I think it's important, is to keep the momentum going after the World Cup. So you keep that popularity, the fact that the supporters are behind you again. You didn't want that to suddenly dip off and then everyone goes, it's just a flash in the pan. So it's good. And the really promising thing is that we've got so much great young talent coming through. For the first time ever, we've been massively successful at youth level, under 17s, under 20s, 21s. And we've never done that before. And history tells you that the countries, by and large, that do well in those competitions go on to do very well in World Cups, European Championships, etc. And I'm pretty confident that our time will come. I've never seen such a plethora of high-quality talent that we've got coming up through and behind this group that we've already got.
And some of those young players are going abroad to get opportunities. Jadon Sancho, Reece Nelson, for example. Callum Hudson-Odoi is thinking about it. You did it, obviously a little later in your career, but do you think that's a good move, that the players go abroad and get real solid game time at the highest level?
I think it's a really good move for the players involved. I think it raises a question mark as to why our clubs are not giving that talent the opportunities that they're getting elsewhere. It's not like the Bundesliga is a weak league. It's really strong, and it's clubs like Dortmund and Bayern Munich, obviously after Hudson-Odoi. But it's a huge compliment to our game that they are searching for our young talent. That's never really happened before. But we should look at that. Are we giving our young players the chances that they deserve, or are we just going to continue to buy players from other countries? So there are pros and cons to it. But I think in terms of players' experience, to get a different feel of from a different league and a different environment and learn a different language, I think it matures you very quickly, and will be a great help to them.
And just finally, are you as excited about the England scene as you've been, from all age groups and the potential for the future, as you've been for a long time?
Oh, for a very long time. I think this is the best young group we've ever had come through. We obviously had the golden generation that didn't quite manage to be successful, but I think this lot, all the ones born around 2000, are really very special, and there's loads of them in all sorts of different positions. Added to that, the present group of top quality players, Kane and Rashford and Sterling and people like that, Stones, and so then you can add all this brilliant young talent that we've got coming through, the ones you've mentioned in Germany, Phil Foden, and there's just loads of them, aren't there? And the, Gibbs White at Wolverhampton Wanderers. I mean, honestly, the list is it's not endless, but we've never had that kind of strength in depth. And that's what was, people say, why did Spain suddenly get successful? Well, Spain always had like half a team of world-class players, and we've sort of been like that as well. But then they changed things. They changed their youth development, etc., which is what we did a little bit later than everybody else, and now we're getting the rewards for that.
Fantastic. Garry, thanks for your time.
Pleasure.
Good to see you.
Cheers.